ఏపీ మంత్రి నారా లోకేష్ అమెరికా పర్యటన కొనసాగుతుంది. ఇందులో భాగంగా ఆయన లాస్ వేగాస్ నగరంలో నిర్వహించిన ఐటీ సర్వ సీజనరీ సమ్మిట్ లో పాల్గొన్నారు. సమ్మిట్ ప్రాంగణంలో పలువురు పారిశ్రామికవేత్తలతో భేటీ అయ్యారు. అమెజాన్ వెబ్ సర్వీసెస్ ఎండీ రేచల్, పెప్సికో మాజీ సీఈఓ ఇంద్రానియా, రెవెచర్ సీఈఓ అశ్వినర్ భత్, సేల్స్ ఫోర్స్ ఏఐ సీఈఓ కార్లా షియాతో లోకేష్ సమావేశమయ్యారు. రాష్ట్రంలో పెట్టుబడులను అనుకూలతను వారికి వివరించారు. ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ లో అమెజాన్ డేటా సెంటర్ ఏర్పాటు చేయాలని అమెజాన్ వెబ్ సర్వీసెస్ ఎండీ రేచల్ ను లోకేష్ కోరారు.
When you're talking about investments, just want to understand, especially when you're trying to bridge some of the gaps, especially in terms about creating an enterprise, because a lot of our audience are mostly in small business enterprises. So when you graduated from Stanford and went back to India, you had a role at Heritage as a director. So when you actually ran both an enterprise company and then you came back into politics, how was that experience? Because a lot of our audience here would want to understand how to create an enterprise.
I think that's a very good question. They're quite stark, they're quite different. In the private sector, when you are the boss, you decide the direction, you understand the journey, the results speak for themselves. If 1 month you miss something, you know where to correct. I think politics, you only get elections once every 5 years at the state level. So it gets very difficult to figure out whether you're in the right trajectory. And it's very important to remain grounded, meet people, hear from them, understand whether what you're doing is right and whether what decisions you're taking are meeting with their aspirations or not. So for me, that was very, very important. I think both journeys are mutually exclusive, but one thing I have learned being in the private sector and now in politics is building your team. You need to decide early on who can take you to a logical conclusion. I mean, who will be part of your journey. I think that's very important because when I joined Heritage, we had a crisis. Things were not good. We were losing a lot of money because of our retail expansion. Dairy was not bringing in that much of profit. So I had to decide early on the direction, trajectory of the business. Then I had to figure out whether the leaders believed in that vision or not. And based on that, I had to take decisions. I think politics is all about that also. I think you need people who believe in your vision, but also have that boldness to correct you when you're making mistakes. So in that sense, in terms of building your team, building the leadership in both organizations is something that I find very similar.
Yes. So I think building upon that, also, you come from a legendary family, want to, building upon the legacy of your family, what is the vision that you create, especially like, for example, want to understand